The next concept we are going to discuss, that is called the like a JSX. JSX is nothing but an extension of the JavaScript, and which is a combination of HTML and JavaScript. Both we are combining together in the like a JSX. The JSX is extension to the like a JavaScript. It is a template script where we can like implement the HTML and the JavaScript code together. So like for example, if you want to declare the variable in the JavaScript, what are the keywords through we can declare the variable in the JavaScript? Yes, who can say? What are the keywords through we can declare the variable in the JavaScript? Sorry?
Where keyword?
Where keyword? Any other?
Let
Const.
const.
Let and const. Now, what is the difference? All three?
Where is globally scope, where
Yes.
let is function scope,
Okay. And const?
and const is used for constant values.
Okay. Constant value means?
Does not
We
change.
can't change
Does not change.
value.
Okay. So once we initialize the value for the particular variable, we cannot rechange it. So that is nothing but like a constant. In JavaScript, if you want to declare any variable, so we always use the either var, let, or const. We are using it. The same as if we, in the like a JSX file also we need to write to declare the like a variable. So here we are declaring the variable like a const, and the name of the variable is a h1 tag, and then we are defining the like a message with h1 element too. While we need the JSX in the rest, okay, React application. So it is mostly using for to build the like a UI, user interface. Okay, to create a user interface and include the like a HTML and the JavaScript, we are using the like a React. So we need HTML, and each HTML is always execute under the where DOM. And already I told the last session about the DOM concept also. And we'll have the like events to be handled. Each and every element have a particular event as well as state changes there. So in case of React, it allows to make the like HTML and the JavaScript should be present in the same file and take care of the state changes in the like a DOM in an efficient manner. In properly it will be changed. The expression in the JSX, how to represent it? Always we have to write with the like a, in which syntax? In Angular, what is the syntax we use to display some value? Any idea? Who can say? If I want to display some set of values, yes, I have declared the like a suppose variable name student s name, and I have given the value for the s name, and that value s name value I want to display it. Yes, Sonali. What is the tag we use in Angular? Those who have done Angular, tell me. Are you listening or not, Sonali?
Yes.
What is the tag we use? Punam?
Yes, sir.
What is the tag we use? If I have a variable with some set of values and I want to represent in Angular, okay, in a specific HTML file, so what is the like a syntax or the tag we use?
ng for?
No. We use the interpolation tag. In Angular, we use interpolation tag to represent some read-only values. Okay. If we go for the JSX, the simple example how to use the like a expression in the JSX. If we want to represent the some set of tag, okay, or some set of values in the like a React, always we have to use the like a expression syntax. And here we need to use the like a single curly bracket. In Angular, if we have done, then we are using double curly bracket. But in React, we are using the like a single curly bracket, and that is called the like a what? Expression in the React JSX. Expression in the JSX. So whenever we go for the React application, there are two types of files extension we can create it. One, we can use the .js file. Another, we can use the like a JSX file also we can create it in the React. But if you are going to the like a Angular, we can use TypeScript file. But here we are using the two extension file, we can use it. One is a .js file we can use, another is a .jsx file extension we can use it. And if you want to represent some sort of message or the value, okay, and we can use the like a expression in JSX, and that is always represent with the single curly bracket through we can represent it. Okay, so that you have to just remember it. So now I'm just going to create a like a one HTML index.js file, another index.js file I'm going to create it. Or if you don't want to create the another index.js file, in the same index.js file you can define the one like a variable also, you can write it. So I just have to go to the here index.js file, and I need to write it here const variable name. I'm just writing h1 tag. In the value I'm going to represent with the like a with h1 element. Okay, same message I'm just going to write it. Okay, instead of here I'm just writing it and closing the like a h1 tag. Now this value or the message stored inside the where h1 tag variable. Now that variable name I need to write it now here. What I need to write? I have to write the like a variable name, that is h1 tag. Now if you go here, look it is a message which is representing with the like a h1 element. So here I don't have to use the h1. Okay, now look at, we are getting this message. So is it clear? Got it? Understood?
Yes.
Yes.
But suppose if you are putting the like a h1 tag, okay, so now what you have done? You have implement this message through the like a here, and you are passing to the like a variable name. And now this variable h1 tag should be represented with the like a h1 element through. Then what we have to do? Again, I'm just going to write it here. Like a, for example, display equals to, I'm just going to write it here h1 tag. And then I need to call that variable with expression JSX. h1 tag I need to call it. तो यहाँ पर मैं call कैसे करूँगा? Using h1 tag. And now this display variable I need to write it here. I need to write the like a display variable. Now go to the like a browser and look at, we are getting with the like a h1 heading element format. पहले हमको क्या दिख रहा था? Normal message. Okay. Now later what we did, we just changed through the particular element. Okay, and particular element through we are implementing it here. And that element data which is storing in the where the variable display. And now we are passing the here display variable. In the rendered method, how many parameter we can pass it? In the rendered method, we can pass how many parameter? We can pass it 2 parameter. One is the variable we can say, or the message or the content which you want to represent. And second is the like a what, where we want to represent the content that we have to write it. Okay, understood everyone? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Next, we can create externally also the like a another component file extension we can give it, that is nothing but a like a what, JSX extension. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to create another component file, an extension I'm going to give it, that is called the like a JSX extension. JSX extension I'm giving it. Okay, now in the JSX extension what I'm going to do, now the same things which I'm going to write it inside the where in the JSX file I need to write it. In the JSX file I need to write it this content. Okay, पहले हम लोग किसी कौन सा फाइल पे लिखते थे? मेन फाइल के अंदर. We wrote in the like a main file. Now I'm writing the same content inside the which file? JSX file. Now I want to call this JSX file in the where? In the main component. And what is our main component? Index.js. So to call that file, we need to export it. Export default. To whom we need to export? The variable which we have declared, that is a display. And now this display variable, okay, we need to export it. Now we need to go to the like index.js file, and here we need to import display from where? test.jsx file. And now we need to pass it here display. Now look at here, same output we are getting. Okay, समझ में आ रहा concept? Everybody getting?
Yes.
तो अभी हम लोग ने क्या किया, जो पहले कोड लिखा था index.jsx फाइल JS फाइल के अंदर, that code we wrote inside the where test.jsx file, and now we exported this variable so that we can reuse it in the like another component. So we exported it. If you are exporting, that means what do you need to do? You have to import it. जिस वेरिएबल को तुमने एक्सपोर्ट किया है उसी वेरिएबल को तुमको इंपोर्ट करना होगा. तो यू हैव टू इंपोर्ट दैट कंपोनेंट from the which file? That is nothing but a test.jsx file, and then you have to pass that component name or the variable name within the rendered method. You need to pass it. So we did it. Okay, so this concept. Next concept we are going to discuss, that is called the like what are component. Yes, component is nothing but a simply we can say in the React.js it is a pure JavaScript function. How to create a function in the JavaScript? Akib, how to create function in the JavaScript? Akib,
We can declare the function name, declaring by function name.
declaring by function name. Anjani, how to declare function in the JavaScript?
It's a function keyword. We use
Using the
function
functions keyword through we can create a function. Function name. Function name. Curly bracket open, curly bracket close. So whenever we are creating a function, okay, that means what we need to do here, we can either return the value or may not be return the value. If we want to return the value, that means we have to write return statement. If I don't want to return the value, so I just have to print the my like details in the same function. Return का meaning क्या होता है? Just passing it. If we want to pass the data from one function to another function, then we have to write the return statement. But if I don't want to return the value, means if I don't want to pass the value to any other function, then simply I don't have to write the like a return keyword. I need to write it like a document.write or console.log or something else. I need to write it to display the result in the same function. But if you want to pass the value to some other function, then we have to write the like a return statement. Like for example, to understand about the return statement. For example, if you have taken 1,000 rupees from your friend, have you returned to your friend or not? Yes. If you have taken 1,000 rupees from your friend, have you returned to your friend or not? Yes.
Yes, return.
Yes, you have to return. So that means you are writing the return statement. And return statement, what you are doing? 1,000. So you are passing the like a 1,000 to your friend. Okay. So that you have to just remember it. So now we can go for the like a component in the React.js, and whenever we are going for the component in the React.js, the components are nothing but a pure JavaScript function, and which helps us to like a write the code and splitting the logic into this reusable independent code. Okay, separate like a functions we are creating, means separate component we are creating it. Our logic is going to split it. Okay, the like a complex code of the programs we are dividing into small part. So that's why we are creating the like a component. Now the component can be created in what are the ways? Okay, in React, what are the different ways we can create the like a component? If we go for the Angular, or if we have done the component in the Angular, so we can create the component in what are the ways? Yes, tell me. Who can say? What are the ways we can create the component? Yes.
Function name, simple function, and arrow function.
Okay. Is there any function component in the Angular? Huh?
Function component.
Yes. Is there any function based component in Angular?
No, sir.
Then which type of component we create in the Angular? Class component we create. what type of component we are creating? Class component.
Class component.
But in the React JS, we can create two type of component. One, we can create the function based component. Another, we can create the like a React class based component. So there are two ways we can create the like a component in the like a React. One is like a class based, another is a like a function based. So here we are just going to create the like a function based component. Okay. So what we need to do, we just have to create a function. And in the function, whenever we are creating, so we have to return the value. Okay, we don't have to execute the like a value in the same component. So we have to pass the like a value to the some other component. So always we have to write the return statement. And the return statement is always return the single value. So we cannot return more than one value. So now what we are going to do it here in the test.jsx file. Okay. So here I need to import it. Import what? We need to import the like a React and the React DOM. Import React from React. And then import React DOM from React DOM. And then after that, we need to create a like a function. Function name is suppose hello. We are just going to write it and return like a with h1 element. And then I'm going to write the message. Welcome to function based component in React JS. Okay, so this is the code which we wrote it. Then after that, what we need to do? We have to represent that component as a element. As an element, we need to represent it like we write the HTML element. So we have to represent that component name, function name as an element. So here I'm just going to declare the like a one variable hello underscore com equals to, we need to write the like a h1 element as a h like any element like we have to represent it. जैसे हम लोग h1 एलिमेंट लिखते हैं, पैराग्राफ एलिमेंट लिखते हैं, तो same as functions we need to write as a like a element or the tag or represent with the any angular bracket through we need to write it. Then after that word we need to write export default. Then to whom we need to export? Hello company. We need to export it. Okay, now this is done. So now after that word we have to do, just go to the like a index.js file and here we need to import it hello com. Okay, and then after that we need to write it here hello com. Whatever object or the variable we have imported, that we need to write it here. Now just go to the like a browser, look at it. Got it? समझ में आया? How to create the like a function based component?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, you have to import the like a React module, React DOM, create a function, return the message, whatever you want to return. Then this function should be represented as an element or the tag with angular bracket and stored in the particular variable. And that variable we need to export it. And then we should go to the like a main component file and we need to import it here. And then we have to pass it inside the rendered functions. We need to pass it. So this is nothing but like a concept is called function component. So next is called the like a class as a component. Okay. Then React JS we can create the class component also. So what we need to do, we just have to create a class. So how to create a class? By using the class keyword. Using class keyword through we can create a class in the React. The class hello. But remember it, extends keyword it is always used for to inherit the properties from parent class. And what is our parent class? That is nothing but like a component. The component is the like a parent class. So we need to write extend keyword. Those who have done any other programming language, okay, and like a C++ have the inheritance concept, Java have inheritance concept, okay, then if you go for the C# have inheritance concept, Python have inheritance concept. So every object oriented programming language have the inheritance concept is there, okay, to acquire the properties of parent class into child class. The same much in the React JS have the like a, when we go for the like a class component, so we need to inherit the like a parent class component. So for that we have to write the extends keyword. We need to write it. So now let's go to the like a test.jsx file. So here I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to make it comment. And I need to create a like a class component. The class hello extends react dot component. Curly bracket start. So once we create the like a class component, to pass the data from component to the like a main component, we have to use rendered method. Which method we need to use it? Rendered method. And in the rendered method, we have to write it return statement. Return what? Now this message I'm going to return it. Return this. And then after that, we need to export our class. So we need to write export default. And then we have to write our class name. That is nothing but a like a hello. So after exported, then what we have to do? We just have to go to the like a main index.js file. And here we need to write, okay, hello from test. And now what we have to write it here? Hello. Now go to the like a browser. Is it visible content? Not visible. What is the problem? So whenever we have a class component, in the rendered method, we have to represent as a like a element. Okay, we need to represent as the like a element. So with angular bracket, we need to write it. Now look at it. So welcome to function based component in React. See here I can change the message because we are using the like a class component. So here I can write class based component. Now go to browser, look at it. So this is nothing but a like a class based component. So what are the different way we can create the component in the React? We can create the component in the React in two ways. One is called function based component. Another is called class based component. Yes, got it everyone? Understood? Next concept is called the like a life cycle of the component. Whenever we are creating any applications, every application of the life cycle concept is there. Life cycle means what? Starting point to ending point. That is called the like a life cycle concept. Start to end point is called the like a life cycle. Okay, how it is going to initialize, how it is going to like a accepting the value, and then how it is going to update the value, and how it is ending the application like a value. So that is called the like a life cycle. If we are creating the component, so every component have the like a life cycle. Okay, component life cycle is divided into 4 categories: initialization, mounting, update, and unmounting stage. Okay, there are 4 stages in the like a component life cycle. First stage is called the like a initialization. Component have the like a different stages, and the first stage is called the like a initialization. Means whenever we are going to create first time the component, okay, first stage is comes the like a initialization. And the initialization state, default props and state we are getting it. Default props and default state we are getting in the initialization state. Okay, that default values we are getting it. The next stage is called the like a mounting stage. Mounting stage, what is happening? The component is rendered in the like a DOM. Okay, and which is going to call the method in the mounting stage is called the component did mount method is going to call. And this method is called when the component is just added to the DOM. In the mounting stage, what is happening? First, it is rendering inside the DOM. Or if it is going to add the component in the DOM, okay, that means component did mount method is going to call. Component did mount method, it is just called when the component is added inside the DOM. And rendered method, this method call like all the component will be created, and it is just going to return the output in the which format? HTML format. We are going to get the output. Next state is called the update, update stage. In the update stage, whenever we are going to add the a component in the DOM, the DOM is interacted by the user and updated it. If you are entering something in the text box or input box, the state properties are going to change it. Like for example, when we click the button, the state property change it. So that means it is going to call the which stage? Update stage is going to call it internally. And if it is a update stage or update state, so there is a two method is going to call it. One is called the a should component update method. Another is called as the a component did update method. So when the component is updated, so this method is going to call it. When the after updated the component, first if it is just going to call the a method component should component update method, just updated. But after updated, okay, if updated finished, then which method is going to call it? Component did update method. And what is the last stage? That is unmounting. So this stage will comes into the picture when the component is not required in your application, or you are just going to remove it. That means we need to call the a unmounting stage. And if you are going to use the unmounting stage, what is the method we need to call? Component will unmount. Component will unmount method we are going to call it. That means component is going to remove or destroy. So if it is not going to use in your application further, so that means we have to remove that component or destroy that component. In that case, we have to call the method that is called a component will unmount method we need to call. Okay. So let us see, we need to implement the one example. So first of all, I'm going to create project. Component. We don't have to give the a capital letter. Okay. Component life cycle. Component life cycle. Life cycle. Okay, so now I will switch to the like my project folder. Then we'll just have to go to the like a project folder, that is like a component lifecycle, src app.js. Okay. Now here I'm just going to remove it and I'll create like a class component. The component lifecycle concept basically which comes in the class component. Okay, the first of all we have to import React from React module. Okay, then after that what we need to do, we just have to create like a class component, that is app extend react dot component curly bracket start, and then we have to define the like a constructor. We have to pass the like a props parameter curly bracket start, then we have to call the super method, pass the like a props, give it semicolon, and here I'm just going to define the like a state. This dot state equals to, I'm just going to declare it only the name of the state and which is initially empty, then semicolon. Now after that what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create like a two function, update state, okay, and I'll pass the like a parameter that is nothing but a, like a event curly bracket started, and inside the like a update name not state, update name method I'm going to create it, update name, and inside the update name method I just have to write this dot set state method. If you want to change the like a value, the just have to write it here with curly bracket name colon, okay, event parameter which I have declared, event dot target is the like a one property dot value whatever we are just going to pass, okay, that we need. Same as I need to create like a one more function like a test click, and here I just have to pass the also like a event parameter, and then I need to write it all alert functions. I have to use it to display some message, so like your name is plus I need to write it this dot state dot name. I'm going to write. So whenever we are going to create any function, okay, that we have to bind with the like a constructor. Okay, so if you want to bind with the constructor, then how to do it? So here you have to write it this dot method name, whatever we have created function name, equals to this dot method name or function name dot bind method we need to call it, and we have to pass the like a this object. We have created two method, okay, here it is called the like a test, and then we need to write it again this dot like a test click equals to this dot test click dot bind method, we have to pass the like a this parameter. So we bind with the like a inside a constructor, so that whenever constructor will be execute, this two method is going to call it, or this two function is going to call it. Okay. Then after that, what we need to do, we just have to write it here. We created a class. This is it should be inside a class. These two method inside a class, not outside the class. Here we need to write. Then after that, we have to call or invoke the method that is called like a component did mount method we need to call it here. And in this like a method, we have to just print the message console.log, and we have to write the message mounting state calling component did mount method. component did mount method. Just I'm going to write this message. Then after that I need to like a call the method should component update method, and here we need to write the message. I have to write it update state and calling should component did method, and then after that I need to write it return true. If it is updating, then it will be written it true. Then we need to call the like a component did update method. Component did update method. And here we need to write the message. Update state calling component did update method. And then last we need to write that is component will unmount method. And here we need to print the message. Unmount state and calling component will unmount method. Then after that, what we need to do? This is done. We need to write rendered method. Inside rendered method, we have to return the value. Return. Okay. And then we have to define the like a div element. Okay. And just we have to write the message here. Enter your name. With input field. We need to write it. Input type equals to text. Input type equals to text, and then value attribute value we need to write it here. This dot state dot name. We just have to print with the like a value, and we have to call the like a onChange event method. OnChange event method, like we called onClick, the onChange event method we have to write it. OnChange event equals to, we need to write it with curly bracket. This dot update name method we need to call it. Yes, are you listening, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so enter your name. Just we created a label and then input field and value attribute value will be this dot state dot name, and on change event we are writing, and here we are going to call the like a update name method. And then I just have to like a terminate with angular bracket. Then I need to write the br tag for to create a new line. Then after that I need to just print it here with H2L element. I just have to write this dot state dot name, and then after that I'm going to create like a button. The input type equals to button. Input type value is the button, and then value attribute value we need to write it. Click here. Okay, and then we need to write on click event. On click event equals to curly bracket, and here we need to write this dot test click method we need to call here, and then terminated. This is done, and here we need to give it semicolon, and then after that we have export it. Now this is done, and if we just go to the index.js file, here already we have export it. Okay, import it also. Now we need to write npm start. So now I'm going to give the like a value here. So I'm getting it here. Now if I just click in this button, so I'm getting the your name is Sanuj. This is now we are getting it. But how do we know all these methods are invoking? So right click, inspect, go to console. Where is it? I'll just take it this application with the like a Chrome browser. Right click, inspect, console. Look at here, mounting state calling, component did mount method, unmount state calling, component will unmount method, mounting state calling, component did this, update state calling, component did update method. Yes, are you getting? All the methods are invoking here. Yes, everyone.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This is nothing but a concept is called the what? Life cycle method of the like a component. Whatever method we have defined in the like a React lifecycle component class, all the method is going to invoke one by one. The first stage is nothing but that is mounting stage. Second stage is like updated. Okay. And last stage that is called the like a unmounted.
Yes, sir.
So this way we are implementing the like a lifecycle of component. So we have done it practically. If we look at the live component lifecycle, the mounting, okay, from the mounting it is updating, and from the updating it is unmount is happening. The mounting stage have the like a constructor, and it is going to call the like a component did mount method. Update state, it is going to call the like a set state method. Even if there is a method, it's called the force update, and it is calling the like a method is called component did update. On mounting stage, it is going to call the like a component will unmount method. Thank you.